Hello and welcome to a special edition of the Utopia News Warcast. This is your host, Wind, and this is a special edition, as I said, on the date June 9th, year 5, age 93, for our special friend Phoenix, who is currently in ICU at the moment since this morning, about 12 hours ago or more. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family, and hoping him in a speedy recovery. However, due to the nature of the circumstances, all we can do is wish him well at this time. Thank you again, Phoenix, for your contribution to past newscasts and hopefully future newscasts. The information you provided was invaluable. And, of course, you're a vital member of the community and, of course, to the Atlas team as well. So thank you so much. And again, our hopes and prayers go out to Phoenix and his family in this time. All right. Let's dive into what used to be regular programming. It's been a while since I've done a Warcast, but that doesn't mean that I'm still not watching the wars that are currently going on in progress from my cozy position here in 1-1. Now, a lot has been going on during this age of occult ordination. But it's nothing out of the ordinary. It is life as we know it in Utopia. So let's dive on in and take a look at who the biggest kingdoms are at this time. Wow, okay, so the North Calls, they are really getting big. Not sure who they are at this time, but they are in contention probably for the kingdom land crown, depending on how these wars go on down here. As we can see, the next closest runner-up is Elf Shelter, followed by Guess the War Theme 7-7 and 7-8. Mr. War agreed, so I wonder what's going on there. Um, Looks like these two kingdoms would be perfect to go to war with each other. The rest of the top 10, though, we have the Wiki Race 7-6, Once Legal 1-3, Shameless. Looks like Shameless did actually win their last war. We're going to look at that in this podcast. Super Cuties 6-5, Fleetwood Crack 2-5, and Wishmasters in the top 10. Well done, Wishmasters. Well done. All right, let's take a look and see what is going on here. All right. So I posted the war tracker thing on Muga, but here's another quick look at it again. Some of the victories to shout out: Utopia's Happy Accidents, Hello Beaches, congratulations, Wacko, for defeating Fluffalicious there. Looks like Fluffalicious hasn't exactly had the best run this age with their current war score. However, that doesn't mean that they're out of the race by any means. Um, that was a funny little Windows pop-up. Windows getting a little bit more aggressive with their advertising. As I said, it looks like StarCraft also hasn't been having the greatest age. I mean, StarCraft does like to go to war a lot. Doesn't mean they always win all the time. I mean, everyone in the top here is kind of, they've almost had 4 wars each. Even the winners aren't exactly doing so hot in terms of being undefeated. So it looks like there's a lot of good prospects for war, a lot of good options here. But also at the same time, there's definitely some kingdoms that are probably capitalizing a little bit on kind of some of the more mixed strategies that we're seeing due to the age changes here. Ghetto Nightmare doing extremely well with 3-3 at the moment. Wiki Race again 3-3. Noobs war 6-6 2-2, facing 7-2, also the same war score. So I mean that should be a pretty good war there. Um, these war scores appear also. I just want to point out a representative of the victories as well. So this is the number including their victory that's posted on this chart here. So let's take a look here at the first one. This is the land side of things. Utopia's Happy Accidents versus StarCraft. Not a whole lot going on here in terms of land exchange. It's pretty stable. Let's take a look at the net worth to see who's actually doing damage here. Wow, pretty tight race all the way down to the bottom. Now this is for all the people who want to hear the key words here. This again is for you, Taco and Ulfald. There you go. There's some convergence right there. And, Wacko and Benji, I know how much you guys like that to hear that convergence. I mean, look at these great convergences here. I mean, but this is pretty clear that StarCraft did, despite fighting a very good battle, it looks like they just weren't able to recover, after this convergence. I would say right about here was probably the nail in the coffin because, as you can see, they weren't really able to pull themselves back after that. Let's take a quick look at the honor chart to see what was going on here. I mean, kind of says the same story. They kind of lost their footing in February here, and then it was just a cascading effect to victory for Utopia's happy accidents. Although I have to point out that StarCraft didn't exactly let a ton of land go, um, but the land bonus win for Utopia's happy accidents is what pulled them away. So good job on StarCraft for not just totally giving it away. And I mean, it's not like you just gave away your honor at the end either, too. You kept a pretty baseline. Again, the victory points are key here. You got to use your victory points, or rather your victory bonus, honor and land and science when it does come in. Even though it's only 5K acres, for instance, and 5K honor points that you get as a boost from the win, it's still significant enough once you add up all the wins by the later ages. The later years of the age. So good job, good effort to StarCraft. Utopia's happy accidents needs. What do they need? They need W. I guess that's a win because it definitely doesn't look like they need any provinces. So good job, everyone there. Let's look at this war here. Oh, look at this strong convergence pattern here. Fluffalicious and Hello Beaches. Now I remember Wacko and some others talking about some stuff going on in between them. Before entering this war. I can't remember exactly, but I think there was some other kingdoms involved in this. But it looks like, regardless of what happened, Fluffylicious took on beaches here, and it looks like, through multiple layers of convergence and land here, you can see, Hello Beach has played kind of a subtle, don't take too much land, kind of let the enemy take more land initially approach, and then, once they realize they turn the tables around, they're taking the land back here, as we can see on the latter half of the graph here. Looking at the net worth side of things, not too many convergence points, which shows a very strong game by Hello Beaches. Fluffalicious isn't really able to converge on the first major waves here, which is a sign of trouble, I would say. As you can see, they are kind of able to converge a little bit more on the latter waves. However, less than 2 or 3 waves later, they're losing their convergence, and again, Beach is diverging away from them. So it's a quite noticeable decline here in their net worth right at the end of the war. Great job, Hello Beaches. Definitely a well-fought war, well-deserved victory. But as you can see, Fluffy didn't exactly, they were the ones trying to take the honor here. So no matter what, they walked away with some decent honor here. Hello Beaches not actually quite, getting back to where they were before the war started. So, in the grand scheme of things, if Fluffalicious was after honor, they definitely got it out of this war here. Um, some pretty funny names on Hello Beaches here. You know what? Let's see. We'll just take a look at their kingdom here. Yeah, Hello Beaches is 6-7. So let's take a look and see if they've got a cool banner up right now. Oh, it looks like we got a top banner. All right. Yeah, they got some pretty funny names. This Cumberbatch Kingdoms. If they're a real pain in the butt. I've faced them before many times. If this is actually Hello Beaches, they're real pain to deal with. So props to anybody who actually goes to war with them. Oh, look at these Tom banners. I love it. Where are your captains now? Look at me. Who's your captain? 6'3"? Cumberbatch. Oh, that's good stuff. Everyone should be using Tom banners. Hear that? Everyone should use Tom banners. All right. Great job, everyone, in that war. And, shout out to everyone else who watched that war and participated in the Muga chat with regards to the some of the minor drama that unfolded, prior to this war starting. Let's move on to the next one here. DreamLand is loses to Unnamed Kingdom. I mean, land-wise, we can see how this happened. Um, Unnamed Kingdom doesn't have as many provinces. So it's interesting that they that they were able to win so easily. Usually when you're down several like a few provinces at least, it's the enemy really has to just lay over for you to win. Not sure what happened here on Dreamland, but clearly they were literally in Dreamland, not paying attention to this war. This is basically like a total farm out to Unnamed Kingdom. So great job, guys, for taking advantage of that opponent. Look at this, our friends Shameless. Looks like they had a pretty strong war against recruiting PM, who wasn't able to clinch victory in the end. Looks like they had a very hard fought battle in the very beginning. They did come in the bigger kingdom. The Shameless's decline in terms of the net worth was rather steady and very minute in comparison to this, cascading staircase effect that we see all the time from losing kingdoms like we just saw in the farm out. But again, they probably fought a pretty decent war, but really didn't seem like they were doing too much damage to Shameless here. Quick look down here. There were one province up for Shameless, unless somebody left, but I don't think that was the case, just looking at the charts. Honor-wise, looks like Shameless, again, came in the smaller on the small honor side, and they're the ones who walked away with the honor, walked away with the land, and they were able to maintain the net worth. So great job to everyone. Looks like they actually tagged up with their names, so they're themeless and they're tagged up in their names. So great job. Shout out to everyone in the crew there. Um, I recognize just about everybody here. You know who you are. Highlighting all your names right now. All right, great job, guys. I mean, you got a pretty decent war score this age. It looks like 2-4. Not bad, not bad. You're on your way. You're on your way. You're in the top 10 too. Good job, Shameless. All right, let's move on to the next war. Now, these wars haven't reached min time yet, and typically I don't cover wars that haven't gone to min time yet. But we're going to look at these two just for the sake of looking at some wars because there wasn't really too much going on here. Let's see if anyone's posting here. It looks like Brandenburger wants to say convergence. Yep, victory Yeah, that's right. You got convergence. Oh, come on. I've said convergence a bunch of times already. That's right, Tyson. I even mentioned Taco directly when I did say that. Now, if you want, I could go back to the Beaches War and I can mention convergence some more. However, in this, again, this is kind of why I don't really like to mention, wars yet because, you know, there isn't really that much good looking data. I mean, if you look here, like how many times could I actually say convergence here? Maybe once. Um, and this is when the war was starting. But definitely looks like this is a one-sided war. I think, Bon Voyage is probably going to walk away with this one. Although, on the honor side of things, this is some kind of wonky stuff going on here. Not sure what happened here, what was going on here, but that's pretty drastic dumps of honor. Not sure exactly what that was. Very strange. But again, this is looks like they're trying to kind of pull it back at the end here. Maybe a last-ditch effort close to min time to try and get as much back as possible. That's kind of what this is saying to me right now. I mean, it's pretty clear that Bon Voyage is literally saying Bon Voyage and running away with this victory. So good job, guys. And again, here's another one. How many times can I say convergence? Just one time. One time, Taco. One time. And there it is. On the network side of things, it's the same story. This is a fairly one-sided war. Toontown very much in charge of this. Smells like teen spirits. Definitely not going to be able to stop them, I don't think, on this one. I mean, I really don't have to look at too much more information than this. Once you see that trend emerging, it's pretty clear as to what's going on in this war here. I mean, there's really not too much to look at here, to be honest. But just for the sake of saying convergence, what I'm going to do for viewers like Taco and Oldfald, who may be drinking every time I say convergence right now, is we're just going to go back to my favorite convergence war of the night, which is the Fluffalicious and Hello Beaches are Cumberbatch war. I mean, there's so many times I can say convergence here, but again, Hello Beaches did such a good job keeping them at bay when it came to net worth. We don't see too many convergences there. Again, this is just a review of the Hello Beaches war, which I think was probably the toughest, hardest fought war out of all of the wars, that we're currently looking at right now. But look at these convergences on the land side. I mean, it's literally like every wave for both sides. They're achieving convergence, even right up until the end there. Again, Fluffy Lips just did a great job not giving away the land. On the net worth side, you only see the convergence closer to the middle, where Fluffalicious is kind of trying to pull beaches down, but they're not really able to do it at all. And again, here in the honor side of things, you just see the convergence here where they do some serious damage to Hello Beaches. Probably this was their defining moment to know, whether or not they're going to be able to win this war. Until the very end here, where they actually did manage to converge and diverge from Hello Beaches. But, of course, giving that victory, Hello Beaches gets the win, and their honor skyrockets up into the top. Now, we normally don't look at the top 10 honor chart, but here it is. I mean, you could say convergence all day and night in this thing, but it would be a nightmare to try and track all of them. But it looks like everyone on the top is more or less, in the same bracket when it comes to honor. So not a whole lot to look at there. We're going to dive now into my personal little program here where I have been tracking all the wars. I mean, you can see, all the data is here. I have been keeping an eye on things, and this is the what I've been showing you, or what I've been showing everybody else down here is the new target finder redux, where I'm actually indicating how many wars based on the target finder. You're going to see uh, each kingdom having one, so you kind of get an idea of who's facing who. I mean, you don't get to see from this who is actually um, who they faced before, but that is something I'm going to be releasing at the end, where I show you kind of like a little thing, on the top 10 kingdoms, who all their wars were against, so we can see how they got their run to the top and was it well deserved in the end. I mean, it all comes down to strategy, so is deserved really the right word for it? Anyway, without further ado, let's take a quick look at the charts right now as we see them. Just a quick review going down the list. What do we have here uh, in ones here? Any recognizable names? Cows Go Moo. I mean, that's a good name. Do we see anybody else? We got the core here. We got Wheel of Time. That thing's pretty cool. I hope everybody watches that. 14 provinces. Interesting. Huh, and two wars. Pretty busy that one. Let's see. Army of Darkness. Do we recognize anybody else? We got Lego. We got Old Geezers, Retirement Home. I think Natural Disasters is somebody. Elf Shelter. No, that's not really anybody. Mixed Nuts. That's an interesting name that hasn't been seen in some time. Not doing too well though. 0 and 3. We got We Hurt. Let's see. Themeless. BOL. We got Parabellum. That's back. Who else is tagged? I mean, these guys seem pretty cool. Lord or YouTube style. I mean, that's pretty sweet. I mean, get behind that. We got Ghetto Nightmare. We got Villains. We got Pirates. We got Legends of War. Metallic Symphony. I think that's Monsters. Monster Manual. Myth. We got our friend Shameless, who just won their war. I guess this is Tomatoes. Oh no, here's another monster. So right, I forgot this age we got like the fake monsters, monster manual, and then monsters, which I'm pretty sure these are the actual monsters. Checkmate. I'm not sure who EWS is. Wishmasters, Empyreans, Legacy. I think there's somebody. Yeah, the Legacy has been around. I think an age or two now. I don't know. Name seems really familiar though. They're not doing too bad though. They're not exactly small either. So definitely one to watch. Fluffylicious, Hello Beaches, Deep South. I'm not sure who those guys are, but they got a really funny banner. You should check it out. Outlaws. Here's our StarCrafts. I'm not sure if Morons is anybody. That could just be their thing for this age. Chaos Never Ending. Ooh, Chaos is not having such a hot age. Villains. Villains not having such a hot age either. Let's see who else we got here. North Calls. These are those big fat boys. Look at me. Look how much bigger they are compared to most of the rest of the world. Quite large, that one. Let's see. Forever Warcry. Looks like they had 8 members now. Looks like Warcry might be coming back together. It's possible those are just fill-ins though from the autofill, but looks like we might see Warcry coming back eventually. Let's see who else we got here. Let's go Brandon. All right. Jedi Knights, Dreamland, Spaghetti, Gondor. Now these are all those kingdoms that don't have really anybody playing in them. So no reason to look at them, but let's look at the good stuff. Let's look at the fun stuff, the stuff that we actually watch these podcasts for. You know, it comes down to the wars. So we've got a very simplistic system for sorting out wars here. It looks like the top wars is 4 and 5. So what we're going to do is we're just going to clear all that, and we're just going to take a look here at who's winning or who's actually, doing the most wars. Holy cow. Uh, these guys, okay. Let's see, 4 and 5, not doing too bad, not doing too bad. Okay, let's see who's coming up next. Let's go 3 and 4. Here we go. So there's actually quite a few people at 3 and 4 right now. Not a lot of undefeated kingdoms, but congratulations to these guys for doing so well so far. Because I mean, not there's not too many people at 4-4. Actually, according to the chart, there is nobody at 4-4 right now, and there's nobody at 5-5. So as I said, some of these strategies and maybe the different leaderships and people in charge right now are just creating a little bit more of I don't want to say an equal playing field, but it seems like there's no one that's really truly that undefeated, and warring the most this age. Not like last age anyway. But props to the Mr. Kingdom, Mr. and Mrs. Kingdom for having the most wars in the world so far. So good on them for that. Let's take a quick look at the undefeated list here and see who's kicking butt and who's undefeated. No, I mean the top ones we're looking at are these three guys. I'll single them out a little bit later, but I mean these are some very strong kingdoms right here. They're picking their wars well. Let's see if we recognize any of the names. Wheel of Time 2-2. Not sure who those are, but based on the number count and their success, it's possible that this is Ghetto Vets or possibly Simple Syrup is 1-7 Ghetto Vets. I mean, those numbers are pretty close for a Ghetto Vets setup, and they usually, do 1 or 2 wars. So wouldn't be surprised if one of those two is them without even looking at anything else. Um, I mean, it's quite possible they could be Fleetwood Crack as well, but it's interesting to see that there's quite a few kingdoms with 1 win, by this time, and they're undefeated, but they're not really doing too much. There's nobody else that really comes up on here that we haven't mentioned already. Ghetto Nightmare, Wishmaster's having great ages right now. Um, you know, Hello Beaches. Good job, everyone. You know what? It actually looks like I added some people who weren't entirely undefeated there. Still, great job to everybody there. Ghetto Nightmare, 3-3 props to you guys for your nice war score there. And you're kind of keeping up with the rest of the world, so great job, everyone. You're doing excellent this year, this age. Otherwise, I don't really see no one really recognizable here. Again, looking at who's actually, doing well, but still losing 1 war. I mean, you got Hello Beaches, Wishmasters, Army of Darkness, EWS. I'm not sure who that is, but I want to say they are somebody. All right, let's clear this up and let's see who's not going to war. So we'll just forget about these guys at the bottom here because they don't count with their like no provinces. So really, it doesn't. It looks like the only ones not going to war so far this age are the ones who can't really field any strategy or armies. I mean, these guys should be able to at least have 1 war. I mean, there's other smaller kingdoms that have had 1 war, but who knows what their goals are. Let's see who's taking a real beating right now. These are our 1s and 4s, our 0s and 3s. Let's see um, who's in really rough shape right now. The Mixed Nut Kingdom, BOL. That's not entirely surprising. Monsters not doing so hot. Empyrean's not doing so hot this age. Fluffylicious, as we already mentioned, not doing so hot. StarCraft, Chaos Neverending, Villains. These are some brand names that are not doing so well. I mean, it's not that they're going undefeated consistently back to back, but they're no strangers to war. So it's, I'm kind of shocked to see some of these names where they are currently. But best of luck to everyone, this age. That is pretty much all I have for you guys right now. Congratulations to everybody who won their wars, especially to Fluffalicious and Hello Beaches for giving us such a great war to look at. This is some amazing stuff. I'm just going to take a quick moment to look at the comments, if the remaining comments, but definitely we're going to be seeing some more coverage coming later on in the age, plus some special events as well. It's just really hard to organize things with so many respondents, and then life is really busy right now, especially this time of year, getting close to Christmas and New Year's as well. So and Halloween's coming up, so there's always lots of family things going on. American Thanksgiving's coming up as well, so this it's going to be pretty busy coming months, but we're going to do our best to get as much out there as possible. And that Muga podcast where we talk about the future of Utopia is still coming, so stay tuned for that. And again, thank you so much for everyone who's watching and everyone who commented. Um, I love doing the show. I wish I had more time. And, thank you so much, everyone, for listening. We got to do this again more often. This is your host, Wind, signing off.